man. What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's time to get my story out. I had to get you on it because majority of the story, so you know my whole story. So it was only right to get you on, and I'm trying to get you under my umbrella where the huddle went wrong. So I'm giving you a shot at being an interviewer. So go
Yeah,
ahead and
man. Hey, never did this before, but you know what I mean. I love to do this with you, man. So let's get right into it. Just tell us, where you grew up at and who you grew up with.
so originally people don't know this. I was a South Sider, so I lived with my mom until I was about 6 years old. Crime and family tragedies was happening. And I knew like at an early age, I was just like, man, I don't want to be around this. And plus, like, I love my grandma to death, and my mom was super young. So I
Hmm.
was just like, one day I called my grandma. I was like, hey, can I come live with you? And she was like, yeah. So I ended up moving with my grandma when I was 6. So I ended up moving to the North Side. I
Hmm.
lived on 22nd and Thomas, so I was over there. So I grew up over north, and yeah, I stayed with my grandparents, are the people who raised me my whole life, still raising me to this day. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And, I got my mom and my father, but when it come down to it, my grandparents were like my parents. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was my thing. So I just, I stayed with them. So that's where I was at. But I'm a North Sider though. I was only on the South for 6 years, so I don't count the South Side at all.
Yeah.
You feel
You
me?
remember where y'all lived at over south?
We lived by Sabathany. That's the last house. It was an apartment we was at when I left. But my mom lived all over. She lived over there off of like Lake Street by that Taco Bell.
That's the one I remember. I
That's the one you
remember the
remember, yeah,
one.
because I used to come walk to your crib when you live on 26th and First. But like actually, like me living, like the last house, it was like right over there by Sabathany. It was a couple, like literally a block away, because I remember that park was right there. But yeah, man. But other than that, though, like grew up my grandparents on our north side, so that's
Yeah.
where I'm from.
No, when I heard that crib at by Taco Bell, I just remember that day we was looking for each other that day, and then
Oh
we
yeah,
met up. We met up on Lake Street, and we both went to go get bikes.
yeah, for
You
sure.
had got the mongoose, I had got the huffy. It was outside.
We was outside, and my uncle got it stolen from me, so that was the end of that.
So moved from the south side to the north side. Tell us what it's like growing up over north.
Man, growing up early, like I didn't really know much about like what the north side was about, because I was kind of like sheltered a little bit with my grandparents. They didn't really let me do much. But obviously I knew it was crime and stuff like that, but like I ain't never really experienced anything until I got a little bit older. But like once I got older, boy, I was experiencing everything. Like I was seeing people get jumped, I was getting robbed, I was like seeing people, toting guns, all type of stuff, type of crazy stuff. So,
Right.
but growing up over there, like I think as a North Sider, like we got this certain edge about each other, about ourselves. Like what I'm saying, we got some type of pride, because it's one, we ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to us, for one. And two,
Yeah.
it's just like when it came to sports, like we had that roughness, like this, that unhinged. Like we was always like, most of the kids were like raw athletic, but like no, like either we have the fundamentals or we just natural athletes. So, I don't know. Growing up over there, that's just what I think about. Like, but it was cool though. Like it definitely, like mentally, it made me tough. But it definitely made me realize like what I don't want to be around, or come to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the environment was, it was crime infested. Early
Hmm.
2000s, high crime rate. So that's all we saw. So. But other than that, though, it was cool though. Like, I still got Northside love, but I'm an Apple Valley now.
So, what got you into sports?
Man, it's crazy. A lot of people don't know this. So, like, my grandparents were very like sticklers when it came to academics in school. Like, they didn't tell me nothing about it. They ain't nobody. I didn't know nobody in my family that was doing sports. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And by the time I found out you was doing sports, I was already playing sports. So, a short story: I was in fourth grade. Yeah, the homies, Carlton, Dante, Marcus James, and then Fuquan, they always come back, and we had like a morning circle, and they tell us like, oh, this Saturday I scored this many touchdowns, yada yada yada. So
Hmm.
this is fourth grade, and I'm looking like, man, they saying it every week, and I'm looking like, I'm outside with them, like doing my thing, but like again, like I said, I didn't they didn't preach no sports. It was straight academic. So I had told my
Right.
grandma like I want to go play football. So I went to go try to sign up. It was too late. So the next year, in fifth grade, that's when I started playing. So it wasn't really nobody that put the ball in my hand. It's literally like my friends, my closest friends, telling me what they was doing, and that made me
Hmm.
want to go play football.
Yeah,
Literally.
that sound just like I was when I think it was I want to say like the fourth or fifth grade. I was hearing Donald was playing football, and I'm like, dang, you playing football? I'm like, man, I need to be playing football too.
All right.
Cause it's always just been, us playing basketball for recess. So yeah, when I got around him, he was playing football. I'm like, man, I want to play football too. Cause
Facts.
I think I started playing football late, really.
Yeah. So that's my story for real. I started playing fifth grade, and then I took off after that.
Okay. So where you end up playing?
So I ended up playing at Folwell Park because that's where they played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy because I was literally like 4 blocks away from the North Commons. But like again, I'm so green, I don't know nothing. So wherever they telling me, that's where I'm going. So I started
Right.
playing fifth grade. My coach, shout out Coach Doc and shout out Coach David, because those were my
Shout out
coach from
Coach David. Yeah.
those were my coaches from fifth to eighth grade. So when I first started playing football, I was trash, bro. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was out there for recreation. Nigga, jersey didn't even get dirty. I was so trash. But we had
Rated
this dude.
67.
Nah, I had number 80, 85. Don't get it twisted. But no, I'm gonna tell you what made me like want to be good though. We had this dude on my team named Tone. And Tone used to score all the touchdowns. I'm talking about, and I ain't never been a hater, but I'm like, man, I want to do that. But I was trash. Like I said, I ain't know what I was out there, boy. But I knew
Yeah.
I was athletic. I knew I was fast. So I had to figure it out. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'll be you obviously I go your career, we outside playing what is it called? Smear to clear?
Yes, medical.
Yeah. No judgment guys on that word. But yeah, that's what we played back then. So like that's how I got better. I was outside playing with people and then like in practice, I'm like, okay, I'm watching the good players. Shout out to Mumu. He was cold too. He played with Fall. It was our quarterback. Then like them two, and then Braylon was good too. So it was like I was just watching them and
Yeah.
I was just you taking mental reps and like actually using it in practice. So when I came back in sixth grade, I was killing. I was killing. So I was like, you know what? I want to score. I scored my first touchdown.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, I can do this. So and then after that, it was up. Seventh grade, that's when I got you to come on the team. And I told Pearl,
Yeah.
and I'm like, when I knew y'all was on the team, I knew we were gonna be killing. So
I know
after that,
that. No, I was gonna say no. It's crazy because when you try to get me over there to come play with y'all, I only played for a year. I was on a year. By the time I got over to Farwell, yeah, that was my second year playing. So I really didn't know what I was doing until I got around y'all.
yeah, and like I said, just watching other players and like then seventh grade came. That's when I had told you to come over because you had moved over north finally. And
Hmm.
Pearl ended up coming, and I'm like, and I kept telling you like, cuz I'm good, cuz I'm telling you, you like, man. And what happened? The first game we played together,
Boy,
this you was overweight, and then I played
overweight.
quarterback, and I scored 4 touchdowns straight. So, but like even with that, man, like I just had to have some self confidence about myself when I was playing, cause like I said, I was not good, but like I knew I had the intangibles, and I knew I what I wanted to be, so I just bust my butt, like, and then, after that, eighth grade. It was, we was sorry, but it was fun.
Yeah. So with the positions you was playing, did you choose a position or those just like where they put you in?
So I thought I was wanting to play wide receiver, but then I realized in Parkburg they don't pass that ball. So I switched to running back. I'm like, that's who was scoring all the touchdowns, a running back. So
Right.
I switched to running back, and we all play linebacker. So I was playing running back and linebacker
Linebacker.
from fifth to eighth grade, boy. But I was, you know what? I didn't really like defense like that. I was finesse. I wanted to score, but
Yeah.
but it's crazy how it all, came full circle for my career though. But nah, man, even going back to eighth grade, um, Coach Doc had passed away seventh grade, after the
RP
season.
Doc.
Yeah, RP Doc, man. But quick story about Doc, man, like he used to cuss me out, every practice. Like, and
Every practice.
I ain't understand why he was doing that, but like he had that he seen the potential that he seen the potential in me. So I was just like,
Yeah.
man, I remember I used to, go back at him, but man, I needed that back then though. But He made me into a dog though. He
Yeah,
definitely
he
did.
definitely did. I remember when we was I think we was practicing on the other side of the field, and we seen pretty much the older teams. I forgot who they was playing. I think they was playing Farview or something. We just seen. I think that was Jordan. Jordan running the ball. Dang! So we started going over there. Where y'all going? We finna go watch the game. And he just got going crazy.
Spasm. Like, I mean, bro was definitely tipsy all the time, but he definitely wanted. Even though he was tipsy, he wanted. He had your best interest, but man, yeah. So, but yeah, after that, it was just like, man, like I knew like after that, like football was my thing, but I was playing other sports too.
Yeah. So with you playing other sports, just playing basketball. You know what I mean? So what got you into doing basketball?
Funny story about that. I would have, so I would have never played basketball if Tim Randall, my guy Jeremy Randall's dad had a team called the Midtown Kings, and
Yeah, yeah,
they needed an extra player for a seventh grade team. And Tim had called my grandma and was like, "Hey, Sherome want to play basketball?" And honestly, I hooped, like I hooped, at the school, and I hooped. I had a basketball hoop, all that. Like I always was hooping. And she was like, "Yeah, he can play, but we're not paying. So if he could play for free, that's cool." And she was like, "Cool." Like, Tim and them, they was like my family anyway.
hmm
So I remember I had told my boy Mook Don Aquarius, I was like, "Hey bro, you gonna come to this team with me? I got a tryout." I said, "It ain't really a tryout. I'm already on the team, but you coming with me." So I remember I had told Mook that day. He ended up walked up to my crib. I was just finna come outside to meet the coach. And Mook walked up. He put us on a team. And then we started hooping for the Midtown Kings that day. And that's where I met
yeah,
my boy. Like Freddie was there, Rona, Brandon Corona was there,
yeah,
my boy Johnny Matters was there, Cody was there, my boy Tone, and we had some other dudes on our team as well. But we had a decent team. So yeah, I started hooping from there, man. That's when I really found out like my athleticism.
yeah,
So we just played a bunch of tournaments. We had some battles with some other people. Most teams we played against were like Southside. And ironically, I went to high school with all them dudes. Who else? ICO, like TC Force, and all that. And then that's like I think that same year, that's when my boy Marcus Alpate came to the team, and then
hmm
John Hurdle came to the team in the spring, and then that's when Lewis came. We just had man, our team was
Why?
crazy, bro. Like we just kept adding people. Jordan Hughes
Yeah,
came, Didi came, Booker came. Like it was crazy, bro. It was just too many people to play. Like it was too much. Like it was a lot. Like, but it was cool though. Like, my basketball career was short in hindsight. Now that I think about it, I only played from seventh to 10th grade. But
it ain't seem
it
that short though.
it didn't though, cause I be telling people we had 1,000 tournaments. And I was hooping. We was
hmm
traveling the world. We went to nationals, and we ended up getting like 20th in the nation as seventh grade team. So that was kind of cool. But eighth grade year was like a blur. Like I played, but it wasn't. It was just too. Like I said, it's too many people, and then I kind of got it. Like was just like, yeah, I'm done with this. And when I got to high school, I played 2 years, but then I was like, yeah, I didn't grow.
Yeah,
So that's one, I didn't grow. Two, I wasn't developed. My game didn't really develop because I couldn't really like shoot the ball for real. I was athletic, could jump, play defense, all that, but like I couldn't shoot, and my handles was mid, and I'm 5'7", so it's like you're not going to be playing on varsity basketball.
hmm
So that's pretty much was it. But I did enjoy AAU though, just like all the traveling and just being able to play different people from different states and stuff. I remember we played against Fred Van Leet that played for
yeah,
Houston Rockets, and we smacked them my eighth grade year.
yeah,
And I'm sure we played other people that's like in the pros now, but back then we wasn't the internet wasn't popular and we names wasn't really that crazy like in the middle school years. In high school, that's when we started knowing everybody. But yeah, my basketball career was cool, man. I ain't really it wasn't I ain't had ain't nothing to come up with, but it was fun though. Like I said, and I met a lot of my friends. I went to high school with dudes I know
hmm
still to this day. I still rock with. It was just one of them things that I played, and it just helped me out as a true athlete.
yeah. I remember. I mean, just me being around you. I'm trying to play on the team too, man. Your grandma gave you some money to try out. I ain't even make it.
Yeah, I remember at that trial. That's when I passed out, boy. I had an asthma attack.
Yeah, sure did, man. You left me out there. I'm like, dang.
You were
I'm
sorry.
airballing,
You were
missing
sorry.
layups.
Ah,
Ah. I'm like, man, that's crazy. But yeah. So, that was the middle school. So as we transitioned to high school, what made you pick De La Salle?
man, originally, so I'm a football player. So
Hmm.
what's the best school in the city? It was Washburn, and that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, so that was a team. It was a Southside team, but I didn't care. North at the time was not good, and
No,
I
they wasn't.
wasn't going to Edison. I'm the only two Northside schools,
Yeah,
or Henry. Henry didn't have their team was like non-existent. It was a team, but they were trash. So I'm like, I need to go where the best team at because you got mind you, like I
right.
said, I'm coming from a losing season, eighth grade.
Yeah,
We was sorry, so I'm like, I gotta go play somewhere. And I knew people that went to Washburn, so I ended up getting my acceptance letter in the mail. And my girl was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "I'm going to Washburn." She like, "You ain't going to Washburn?" I'm like, "What?" She was like, "No,
man.
you're not going there." I was like, "Where am I going then?" She was like, "You're going to a private school." So the first school that she said she was going to send me to was St. Agnes. She
St.
wanted to send me,
Agnes.
yeah, the only reason why she wanted to send me to St. Agnes, ironically, because of hoop. I was hooping in eighth grade, and the coach came and see me and DJ play. Shout out to Derry Jones Jr. because Derry was cold. And he pretty much offered us both free tuition to St. Agnes. But this is
Mm,
like, but I'm playing at school league, so I could shoot, dribble. I'm the man. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? This ain't AU where I ain't the man. So, they like, all right, you go in for free. But I'm like, where is St. Agnes? St. Agnes in St. Paul. I'm not going to St. Paul. So then she go, oh, you're gonna go to St. Thomas. I said, what?
Dang.
St. Thomas Academy? She was like, yeah. I'm like, that's all boys. I'm not going to no all boys school.
Yeah.
So then she was like, oh, I want you to try this school called DeLaSalle. I'm like, what is DeLaSalle? So I remember which was crazy. Me and Keegan Rollins, my boy Keegan, we had went to a DeLaSalle football game, right? And that's when I knew, I forgot my boy Jeremy Randall went there. But that's the first time I saw my boy Alexander Robinson. And he was out, they played against Delano at Delano in the section championship, I think, to go to state. When I seen that varsity football De La Salle,
Look,
I
this
think
where I gotta be.
that's where I gotta be. Even though
Yeah.
they lost the game, right? Another story I tell you how I went to De La Salle. My brother Mike used to go to the basketball games. So my
Mm,
first time I stepped foot in De La Salle, I see this white boy Joe Scott jumping from the free throw line. Whole crowd go crazy. Mind you, De La Salle has a small gym.
hmm.
It's packed. They go crazy. I look at the bench. Black dudes in there. I look in the stands. It's black people. So I'm like, okay, okay. So then the deal was, all right, go shadow. So I went shadow. Jeremy was my shadow. Boom. Then some people I knew. I'm like, all right, bet. But this was the kicker. When me and you went to that, I had to take a test. Hey, I ain't gonna. Hey, I took that test, boy. That boy told me, hey, I don't even gonna put his name out there. Buddy told me I was gonna be gone the first semester.
Look, you ain't gonna lie.
You ain't gonna make it. But this is the kicker though. We went, so I made up my mind I was going there. And honestly, I found out like John Hurdle was going there, and then like a few dudes from Southside was going there, right? So then we went to that dance, boy. We went to that freshman dance. This is after like we think we coming, and I seen everybody that I played football with or basketball with: Bryce, Evan, Derek, Walter. Who else? Keaton. I found out Keaton was going. Um, who else was there? It was a gang of people there that I knew, right? I didn't know
Yeah.
Walter at first, but my boy Ashante, me and him linked up there. And then obviously I knew Jeremy, Broderick, all them older cats that went there, right? I'm like, y'all going here? Oh, it's autumn. We're winning championships. Like, there's no way, cause I knew what we did as youth, so I
Hmm.
knew like if I go there and we all stay there, my boy Muhammad, Yep. Hey, that was it right there. When I went to
Dang.
that, boy. I seen the
Okay.
shorties too, though. I was like, yeah, I'm in here.
So how was the culture there and the football team
Man, so
when you got there?
when I first got there, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like coming from an all black school, predominantly black and Asian for real. Like two white kids maybe. in my grade, it was different because it was so multicultural.
Mm,
But it was a predominantly like black school when I was there. To me, it was all my like most of my peers were black. Like all, if you look at all the sports teams, most of the teams were black except for like baseball or soccer.
yeah.
Um, but the culture was dope, man. Like DeLaSalle was like a ghetto public private school. It was like it's like a ghetto public private school. Cause I say that because all the cats from the hood went there at the time.
Mm,
Like, and then it felt like a public school because you just seeing people that look like you. But that private though, that shit was hard. Academic.
yeah.
Because when they tell you it's 2 hours of homework, it's really 2 hours of homework. So
2 hours
like,
of homework.
nah, they not lying, bro. Because it's a private Catholic school. It's a college prep school for real.
Mm.
So shit, when I was all A's at Lucy Lady. My first semester, boy, all C's,
Whew.
all C's. I probably had an A in gym.
Yeah.
Like that's about it, boy. But like I
Couldn't
didn't
fail, Jim.
no, but I didn't know how to be a student though. Like being in public school, you just doing the work. Like you know what I'm saying. Like what I can say about these sons is they like you gonna learn quick to be a student first, athlete second, because
Yeah.
that academic rigor is crazy. Like I had to learn how to study, I had to learn how to do my work, I had to learn how to take notes and write things correctly and stuff like that, and just being able to like get your work done.
Mm,
So that. But other than that, the culture was dope though. Like I said, I had a good time my first year there. I never wanted to leave DSL. Like I'll just be up there all day. I went to all the games. If I wasn't playing, I'm going to like the JV or varsity games, football, basketball. And I just met like some of my closest and my best friend there. So my best friends there. So yeah,
yeah, man. I wish I would have went, man. I wish I would have went. I was close. I was close to going. I did everything besides, actually going there.
facts.
Talking about football still. When was the grade that you started varsity?
So I played freshman year, and we had like an all-star team. We blew everybody out. And I remember you coming to one of my games
Oh yeah, we
where I
blew them
went.
boys out the water.
We played Blake actually, and I scored 4 touchdowns in the first half, and I ain't touched the ball. But like that's the thing, man. Like for football, we were loaded like for years. So my freshman year, the year prior was Alexander. Then my freshman year, it was Jeremy's turn. So it was Jeremy. He was playing running back. We had Charles McCree. We had Broderick, LaQuell. We had my boy. Why am I blowing a blank? We had some dogs, pretty much. All right. So
Yeah,
it was no way that none of us was gonna play varsity. So what the good thing about it is our team stick together. So our freshman team transitioned to JV. So my sophomore year I played JV, but I was on special teams varsity. So I'll tell you about this. So my sophomore year, I thought I was gonna start varsity after the freshman year I had. Not on offense, but at least at defense. At least I was playing
hmm
strong safety. But they gave it to another dude on my team, named Richard. No shade, but he wasn't better than me. You feel
they
me?
gave it to him, or he earned it.
No, they gave it to him. He was bigger than me. Gee, I'm little. I was little,
Yeah,
but at the same time, like I had heart. So I told myself, like, all right, if I'm not gonna start, what can I do to get myself on the field? So I remember the first game, I was watching for like a half a quarter. Somebody needed to get took it off on kickoff. I ran out there. So I
hmm
was second. I was back up second. I was second string. No, I was third string strong safety. It was white boy named Spencer Burton was second string, and then I was second string kickoff. I was second string all special teams.
yeah.
My first kickoff, we playing against St. Croix Lewin. I ran down full speed, rocked the dude, he fumbled. Hey, who that? Oh, that's Sherome. And I swear to God, I got the video. I cracked, dude. You just see me jumping up and down on this, little though.
Turn.
I'm
Yeah,
turned. So
yeah,
like after that, like I think the week after, my coach just put me on each special teams. You feel me? So I'm playing JV and varsity, and at this time, I had to make a executive decision. Evan was next up for running back.
yeah.
I knew I wasn't gonna play running back no more. So I was like, let me play receiver because I could probably get on the field. On
hmm
offense, strong safety, I knew I was gonna get a field at some point. So I did that. But every week I'm doing something on special teams. I'm getting added onto punt block, kickoff return, punt block.
They couldn't
You
get
know what
you
I'm saying?
off the field, boy.
I felt like a starter.
Right.
And then, obviously I'm hooping too, but like I said, it's not I'm just doing it for fun at this point. After my sophomore year, I remember we had a banquet, but we had our first game. And the coach was like, you got to come to the banquet real quick because they got something for you. So I'm thinking I'm getting like a certificate or something. So I ended up getting special teams player of the year. And mind you, we lost in
Mm.
the championship that year. So I knew I'm like, oh, we could get back here. We got Monster Brady coming back.
Hmm.
And I did miss somebody. I shout out Devin Benjamin too. And D'Angelo Williams. Shout out to them. Them was my big dogs too. But they gave me special teams player of the year, and that's when I knew I can do it. If I'm getting this is from your peers and your coaches voting for you.
Hmm.
So they already knew. And like the seniors, they knew they wanted me to be a starter, but like I was too little. That's just the reality. I was too little, and they didn't know. They didn't know what I was gonna become because I was so little.
Yeah.
They knew what I could do, but they didn't know what I was gonna do when I got on that field that next year though.
You got to show them.
I had to show them. So yeah,
Yeah.
so after we wrapped my sophomore year up, man, it was just, it was cool though. Like I said, the good thing about it is I got to watch a lot. And I ain't gonna say like I didn't play. I played, but we was blowing cats out. But like just watching dudes like, D'Angelo Williams, Charles McCree, Roger LaQuell, Jeremy, Randall, even like Mike Van Leer, all them
Yeah.
dudes. And then that's when AJ Barker came to the team too, just watching them
Yeah. I
dudes
remember
just
him.
and soaking up like what they was doing. Like I said, I'm observant. I take stuff from everybody. You know what I'm saying? And then okay, I'm gonna put that in my game. And then when it's time to go, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So then, when junior came, it was up.
During that time you was playing football, it was a time when you guys didn't have a football field. So
Oh
what
yeah,
was you guys? Were you guys practicing, and all your games was away games?
man. So my freshman and junior year, my freshman and sophomore year, and we practiced in the back of the school. No, my freshman year we practiced in the back of the school, and then my sophomore year, I think we practiced. Did we practice? We did practice at the back of the school. Then my junior year, we practiced at this park called Beltrami, and that's where the crackheads was at. All I'm
Bill
talking about
Trammey.
Beltrami is in Northeast, right off it's like right on Broadway. Like you go straight on Broadway or Hennepin, one of them, but it's right there. And it was like crackheads, needles on the field. I'm not lying. I'm not lying, dude.
Oh man.
And like in the summertime, that field used to be so dirty, like it was barely any grass. I remember one time Coach Ashfield, Coach Ashfield was he was coaching something. He was like trying to push a gear. He was like, "You gotta be physical," and he fell, and a big cloud of dust just hit. Like it was crazy. Like we was all cracking up, but like that's how bad that field
Yeah.
was. So and then sometimes we would practice like at BC or Parade Stadium, like we was gonna play on turf. But every game we traveled to play, either was home or away. Like sometimes we have a home game at a away team's uh, arena, or we'll play
That's
like at
crazy.
Hamlin, or I think we played at Hamlin, Brooklyn Center, and McAllister. Those was like our home fields, which was crazy. Like, but
Yeah.
that's what made us want to whoop people even more because it's like, bro, we ain't got nowhere to practice. We got to get on the bus everywhere. So we pissed off by Friday. So you got to get this. So that's why I be trying to tell people, like, man, like, y'all everybody think DSL is like a rich school.
Hmm.
DSL is not a rich school, bro. They poor. That school poor as ever. Like, it's a private school. Only money they get is people, donors or people that's paying tuition.
Yeah.
Like, the teachers don't even get paid that much money. So, but yeah, like, we just now starting to get stuff. We don't even have a track field. We gotta go practice somewhere else. So like that's why
Mm.
we dominate everybody because we got that competitive edge. It's like we already pissed off. We're pissed off, so it's like all right, we gonna show you. But that's how we was practicing though. And then my senior year, we still didn't practice when we got the field
Yeah.
because we practiced at a different park in Northeast. But yeah, it was crazy. But yeah,
So what you think was your what game did you play in that was just like, man, this I'm here. I'm here.
yeah.
Like what game where you just, you just did your thing, everything was in flow, you was making all the plays.
My junior year, every game. Cause every game I played, the first game we played BC. Shout out to Biola, but we cooked them. We killed them boys.
Cook them?
Um, man, listen. my junior year when they told me out. So I'm gonna tell you what happened. Before the season even started, we had camp. I'm just trying to destroy everything moving. We go to remember how you used to have the jamborees? So we playing Vanille, Holy Angels, Holy Family, all the little Catholic schools. I lost my mind because I was hitting everything in sight. I'm talking about boom, boom,
Man,
boom, boom.
coming down.
But ironically, Richard, the dude that was in my spot last year, they switched to the linebacker. He was killing too. So it was just a even swap. Like he go to linebacker, I go to, you know what I'm saying, strong safety.
Yeah,
And my coach, he was like, he shouted me out at the end of he was like, we're gonna have a good season. We have keep people like Sherome Milon making tackles and everybody was yelling and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, I'm here. Bro, it's up now. So
okay,
like I said, I knew I could do it, but every game my junior year, it was smoke for I don't care who it was.
yeah. So how was it? Was that the year? Well, that was y'all went to state that year, right?
Yeah, so we went undefeated every year. My junior year, we played against some decent players. So Bryce McNeil was in that conference, which ironically I found out was my blood cousin like 7 years ago, which is crazy. But we was always cool. Tyler Hansen was good. Played for Minnehaha. We actually almost lost to them. And Jeff Du Bois, that's one of the dudes that every year he gave us a run for our money. My boy Jeff Du Bois played running back for St. Croix Lutheran, and that was like our rival. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But like if I stopped him, the game was over. And he'd tell you I already had him on the pod. So that was like if I could say like I know I'm probably jumping. If that was like some of the that's one of the best players I ever played in my life. Like
yeah,
that dude was a straight dog. Besides like, the people on my team, Jeff was the dude, man. Like, Bryce went to Clemson, but I'm not gonna say he was the hard I ain't really had to guard him. You feel me? That was,
right.
Evan and AJ doing that. But Jeff, if Jeff had Evan height, Jeff would have been D1.
Yeah,
And he ran like that boy ran so hard. Like it was crazy. It was hard to get him down, but like I'm me. So I gotta get you down. Like I can't go. Like, but yeah, my whole junior year, man, I feel like that was my coming out party. I was all conference. We were undefeated. We went to the championship and we ended up losing. It was actually tied 21-21 to Glencoe Silver Lake. And we
man.
we ended up losing, man. We got smacked
How
42-21.
that feel?
Oh, it sucked. I cried. The only reason why I cried because of the seniors, and plus, like like in high school, you don't know if you're gonna make it to the championship. That's like a dime a dozen. Like you know what I'm saying. But I knew
Yeah,
our team was that good that we are gonna, obviously make another attempt. But it was crazy, bro. Because I feel like if we just didn't have the numbers or the size. They had a three deep where we only had like a one and a half deep.
yeah.
We had 40 players. They had like 120 people because it's three cities combined.
Was that the game where you chased dude down?
Yeah, I chased somebody down and then the infamous hit when I hit dude on that screen when his neck popped back.
Yeah, yeah. They were saying
Yeah,
your name all game. I was watching that one.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like I said, like that whole year, I was just out to kill. I want like for me, like I like to prove people wrong.
Hmm.
So like that year, after the season, we lost in championship game to Glencoe. Yeah, I remember my coach. Shout out to Coach Van Leer. He had put me to the side and he like apologized to me, and he was just like, "Man, I apologize because we didn't know you would be this good. Like we would have played you last year. You would have been even better this year." And they
Hmm.
just told me they was proud of me, and I ended up getting all conference. And I think me and Evan was the only juniors on DeLaSalle to get all conference. Like the rest was seniors. So like that
Yeah,
that's where I knew like that was my coming out. Like, yeah, I'm really like that.
yeah. So going into your senior year, you played another sport, right?
Yeah, so that was my first year running track, and obviously I went out there because I wasn't playing no more basketball. That was washed for me. Like I'm done with that, and I just needed something to do. And I ended up being pretty good at it. So I ran a 200. And I did some relays, not long jump. Shout out to Coach Patterson. He was my long jump coach. But our relay team ended up making it to state, and I ended up making it state individually in the open 200. So, and I'm out there running with no form, no nothing. I'm just
Skate.
running, skating straight neck in bad form. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? One thing about track, like speed is speed. Like you can't really teach speed. You could help define it, but you can't really teach it. So Once I did that, man, I just like, okay, this is something else I could probably potentially get me into college. So that's what I was like, all right, cool. But it was fun though. Track was dope. Like the track meets was fun. Seeing different people from different schools, and I met a lot of people through track. You know, you meet a lot of females through track as well. So that was kind of cool. That's actually how I met my wife at track. My senior
Mm-hmm.
year, I met her at a track meet. Shout out to my homies, Evan, Jalen, and they knew my wife. And I'm who that? And they're like, oh, we went to school with her. I'm like, who that? I need her. And then
Yeah,
obviously,
I need to.
the rest is history.
Yeah,
But yeah, nah, yeah, track was dope, man. Like I wish that's one of the sports I wish going back I would have played as a shorty. I could have did as a shorty. So I knew I would have been 10 times better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I don't think we knew. Well, I know I ain't know her run track at a young age.
No, for sure. I didn't know. And the crazy part about it, hospitality house was right down the street from me. And I didn't know nothing about it.
Mm.
And my grandma, once I started running, my grandma was like, "Oh yeah, your dad ran for her." I'm looking at her like, "What?" But
Like
back to what I'm
man,
saying though, my grandma was so gun ho on my academics because like, so long story short, like, so my bro, my uncle and my dad was like incarcerated. So
mm,
like for me, she was like, I was her, I ain't gonna say last chance, but it was like another time to get it right.
mm,
So she hounded me on academics and that college and like stuff like that. She wasn't thinking about no sports, so I definitely feel her. So like that's why she didn't want nothing to distract me from it. But other than that, though, I really wish I did because I feel like we be talking about a whole different story right now if I would have ran track on shorty.
right. Because now that I'm hearing that, it's good that she was focused on academics because it allowed like sports to find you in a way. Instead of growing up, they had put you in anything. It was
Yeah,
kind of a way that stuff was finding you to the point where you in it, you doing your thing, and then you weaving out like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm not gonna do this, but this one I'm finna stick with.
yeah, for sure. And honestly, with track and football, I knew it was because when you make all state, when you go to state, you automatically all state. Like
What?
especially yeah, you automatically all state. Like when you place, like if you make the finals, you
Yeah,
automatically all state because you like the top 8 or 9 in the state.
yeah.
So going back my junior year, I got eighth in the 200. I'll tell you why. Our 4x1 team was about to win the 4x1, but my boy Jalen dropped the baton.
Mm,
And we all crying and cussing the people out. See, we ain't tell people, oh no, we went to the tent. Look, we went to the tent, right? We
yeah.
weren't even supposed to be in the tent. We was losers. Losers don't go to the tent. Only winners. And
Right.
like I remember Mike was in there. Well, they all was cussing and stuff. Cause guess who knocked the baton out of our hand? Cuss Glenn
Who?
Silverlake.
Oh, look, they trying to get rid of y'all.
Hey, so they did that. So we all in there. I'm just sick because I'm like I gotta run this 200. I'm the only one that made it as an individual. So yeah, I ended up running 200. Boy, got dusted. Sorry, I ain't want to run. I was over it.
Yeah.
I was over it.
Dang.
But I was all state though.
Okay. Okay. So, with your senior year recruitment, how was the recruiting process? What teams was looking at you?
So my junior year is crazy, and Mike Van Leer can vouch for this. I ended up getting I think I ended up getting my first letter was from like Winona State, which is what was crazy because I feel like I had some more letters, but I'm gonna tell you what happened about that
Mm.
at the end of my senior year, or after my junior year. So after my junior year, no, I'll tell you that after my junior year, I get after my coach got fired, he gives me a stack of letters, and I'm looking like what, like
Was he
so.
holding out on you?
I don't know, man. I'm not finna put no smut on his name, man, because we cool. So
Yeah.
like, but I felt like at the time as a shorty,
Hmm.
I felt like he did because I'm looking like, why would you give it to? But I'm gonna keep it 100. He told me, my coach, Coach Weinberger, he told me straight up, you good, but you going D3.
The
Oh yeah, cuz
audacity.
he told me. I said, oh man, but you know me, I'm I'm going. But in hindsight, he knew what he was talking about. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like back then, we only thought it was scholarship or bust. You know what I'm saying? That was the mentality. If you ain't got no offers, it's over with.
Yeah.
So going back to that, so during the track season, I got my first like letter handwritten. from Coach Walsh from Winona State. And it's
Mm.
crazy because my boy Mike Van Leer, we was going to track practice and I was showing him and the number was on there. I called him and he was like, "Oh, you can't talk to me right now. It's the little dead period."
Yeah.
And I couldn't talk to him until after June. But then after that, I was getting all type of Saint Scholastica called me, and then the track coach called me. Right, to Coach Carlson called me like a few weeks later, and then the track coach, Coach Norman, ended up calling me, and I just started getting like a bunch of like D3s, and then like Concordia,
Mm.
um, Minnesota State, Moorhead.
I like Morehead, man.
They hit me up. I was getting a couple of NAIAs, Briarcliff, but actually went on a visit there and it was cooked. A bunch of D3s and just like, like couple D2s and like some random like NAIAs and some schools in Iowa that I was never going to Iowa. Like Bell, like I think it was called Buena Vista.
But
I got one
yeah,
from Wartburg, uh Waldorf, Sioux
Waldorf, I heard
Falls
of that.
when they were
Yeah.
Sioux Falls when they was NAIA.
Dang,
Um
I ain't know that. I ain't know they was there.
Yeah, they was NAI. They, and it's crazy. I still got all my letters to this date. So like, if you want me to ever fact check, I could pull it up.
Yeah.
What else? But yeah, that's it. St.
St. John, they get down.
Yeah, Hamlin, but I wasn't going to Hamlin. Augsburg, you know about Augsburg,
Oh yeah, we know about Osborne, boy. 612.
Hey, so yeah, so like that was like the gist of my recruiting. But going into my senior year, I'm like, I need a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, during my senior year. Scholastica kept hitting my line every year. I mean, every other week, coach came down. And I'll talk about that when they get to the point, but they were consistent. And then my senior year, I did an official visit to Concordia, and they set that paper down, and they told me I had to pay 20 bands.
Mm.
No, thank you. I did it overnight and everything.
20 bands?
20 bands. I'm like, I'm not paying $20,000 to go to school. I'm not going. And I think that me being naive, they might have offered me a scholarship, but I'm like, I'm not paying 20 bands, G. Like, no. Because they all sat us down in the room. It was like four of us, gave us some papers. They're like, yep, after tuition, this is how much you got to pay. And I'm looking at dude, I'm like, how much you got to pay? Everybody got to pay that. I'm like,
Oh
no.
no.
But
You know.
I did my little visit. It was weak for real. And they was sorry too. So it was like
Yeah.
I had this thing where like I'm not going to no sorry team. Like I couldn't do it. Like after being the winner. So I did that. Me and Keaton actually went to Winona State game day visit.
How was that?
It was dope. They got smacked though. They played against Wayne State. Did them dirty.
Went
And that's what
crazy.
and Mike Van Leer, my brother Mike Winston brought us up there. But and Mike Van Leer was a redshirt freshman, but they got smacked. And then I think the coach left, so I ain't hear from none from them. And then Minnesota State Moorhead called me because Brandon King went there. They was like, "Yeah, how about we offer you a scholarship for football? We're gonna get you on a visit, so we can offer you a scholarship, and then we're gonna connect you with the track coach, so you get a scholarship there." Yada yada. Boy, why the next week they all get fired?
Dang.
I'm like, yeah, I'm cool, G. Like, I'm cool. So, like, after all that, man, like, the only school that was consistent for real was like Saints. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? This is facts. My coach was in the room when they called me, and then like with the Concordia thing, Shadow was Al Quay. He could tell you, like, he was there. So I ain't lying. Like, I ain't had no looks for D2,
Mm-hmm.
but it just wasn't meant. And I don't think it was meant to be.
Right. I mean, so you basically went with, who wanted you. So going to St. Scholastica, how was it?
Well, let me tell you how I got the Saints Scholastica. I got again the coach. Shout out to Coach Carlson. I still talk to him to this day. I got his picture hanging up on my wall of fame because he did so much for me. So like once I made it into my mind that I was going to Saints Scholastica, I had to go up there on this thing called special status because my ACT was low. I had a 17 on my ACT, and my grades was like a 2.9 at DeLaSalle, but in public school it's probably like a 3.4, 3.5.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna say it like that. I was bluffing. My freshman year, I told you I wasn't. My grades wasn't good, but after that, like I was steady. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go up to this thing called special status where I had to go. I had to interview to get in school.
Interview,
I had to interview like a few people with like an hour interview.
tie on, all that.
I just wore regular clothes. I just
Yeah.
told them, I just told them my story, like how I lived with my grandparents. I ain't really had my parents involved majority of my life, and then I just told them why I wanted to go there. But the whole time, Coach Carlson was like consistent with me. We're gonna get you in, yada yada yada. So I remember one day it was like me, Keaton, and some other guys, and we was shout out to brother Michael, RP brother Michael. We were in his office at DeLaSalle. And he goes, what school y'all going to? And I'm like, I'm trying to go to St. Scholastica, but then, I applied, they ain't let me in yet. And this whole time, like I said, we working on the admissions and all that. This dude, brother Michael, picked up the phone, called the president, Larry Goodwin, was like, I got a student I want to come in named Sherome Milon. Let him in. He
Straight
was
like
like,
that.
straight like that. And the dude was like, oh, anything for you, brother Michael. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I swear to God on my kids, like a couple of days later or to a week, me and my boy Joe, no lie, he'll tell you, we walk into the Timberwolves game. This is in April. So everybody unsigned, everybody know where they going to college. I don't know where I'm
Mhm.
going. He go, Coach Carlson called me. Me and Joe walking to the game, Timberwolves game, or Lynx game, maybe. Remember, was it Lynx or Timberwolves game? One of them. Maybe a late Timberwolves game. He called me. Sherome, welcome to the College of St. Scholastica. I'm like, what? I got in? He was like, yeah. He's like, do you want to commit? I commit right on the spot. Right, no financial aid. No financial aid. No nothing. Cause I don't
Right.
know nothing. Feel me? I'm committed. I'm going to college. So then, I swear to God, a couple of weeks later, I'm applying for scholarships. Applying for scholarships. Boom, boom, boom. Doing this Bridges scholarship. It's 18,000 off automatic. Then with the FAFSA, and I don't live with my biological parents. I live with my grandma, but they didn't adopt me. My
Right.
grandparents, they didn't adopt me. So they was like, all right, do that. You can get more money for that. Boom. And then shout out to Darcy, our athletic director at the time. She helped me like create this whole resume, like all my accolades, and then so I could put that in my profile. And then I had to write a paper like to get the scholarship. And
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mr. Felicetta, he looked at it and was like, yeah, let me write it. So he ends up writing it for me. I
Going
wrote it,
crazy.
but he chat GPT'd it.
Yeah.
You feel me? So then, boom. So I'm in school, right? True story. I could call Lady Miss Brown right now. And I'm working with them. Like I said, my ACT, I took the ACT twice. First time I got a 17, I got a
Yeah.
16 the next time. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's cooked. I'm not taking that again. So I talk, so I go, they call me down to the office, the guidance counselor office. I'm like, okay, here I come. I go down there. They're all in tears. I'm looking like, what happened? They was like, call this number. And then was this dude named Jeremy Rupp. I'm looking like, what's going on? She like, call this number and then call your grandma after. I'm like, bet. So I called dude. And I know Jeremy because I met him. I've been to Scholastica a couple of times because I actually went on a visit there as well.
Yeah.
And so I called Jeremy and I'm like, what's up, Jeremy? What's going on? And he's like laughing hysterically. And I'm like, what happened? He like, I need you to write. You got a pen? I'm like, sure. He said, write 35,000 down. I'm like, okay. And he said, then write 32,000. He said 33,000 up under that. He said, then subtract it. I'm like, $2,000. He said, that's all you paying to go to school. I said,
Mm.
what? I said, what? He's like, you got this scholarship, you got this. And then you don't live with your parents, you get that. DSL, private to private, you get this. But he looked out for me.
Yeah.
There was no way I was going anywhere else. So pretty much, he told me, he said, look at this as an athletic scholarship. They gave me the
Hmm.
D3, D1 package.
All that.
Literally. Literally. And I called my grandma, and then we both were just super happy. My grandma was crying. And it was just that's where I was going. I knew once they gave me that, I'm like, that's where I'm going. So like I said, I committed without even knowing like that's where I was going. But
Right.
once they get them numbers, and it's crazy, I just saw the form that I just explained to you
Hmm.
like a couple of weeks ago. 'Cause I was up in my attic going through my. I keep everything. I'm a
Yeah.
historian. I'm a
Yeah.
historian. I
Yeah.
got
I got
everything.
everything too.
I got
Yeah.
everything. So like you see back there, I got my college jersey, and that's the Hall of Fame helmet on display.
I see it. Yeah.
So, just for, what they call it, aesthetics. But anywho, but nah, man, like Like it was crazy. Like I couldn't. I was super blessed. Like to even have that opportunity. And another reason why I went there is my guy Chaz went there. And no shade to Chaz, but Chaz was starting up there. Chaz didn't start in high school. And
Mm.
then I told I asked one of my coordinator, which is like one of my favorite coaches to this day. I asked him straight up, like, am I gonna start? And he said, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Freshman year.
Yeah. But he said if I come and do what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna start. And you know how you go
Yeah.
look at the roster. I'm up there,
He looked trash.
trash. You know, that was my mindset though. Like,
Yeah, no,
I'm
hey,
from
I
the
did the
hood, bro.
same thing.
Ain't
Yeah,
nobody better than me. That's how you supposed to feel.
yeah.
So yeah, that was like that's how I got up there, man. And when I got up there, boy, I was in a rude awakening.
Okay, so freshman year, let's get to it.
So I go out there for camp. My coach had told me previously a couple weeks ago I was gonna wear number two. The five they gave it to a quarterback. I'm like, cool, it's a fresh start, and it looked dope on the jersey. So I end up going up there. So I'm in camp first day. He go safeties over here, corners over here. I'm going to the safeties.
Right.
He oh what? He go over there. I'm like, I play safety. Oh, you play corner now. Oh.
Oof.
And
They
you
ain't
gotta
tell me
think
this.
they ain't telling me. So you gotta think I'm a strong safety rover. I'm a tackling safety. I'm not a cover safety.
Right.
I barely cover people.
Hmm.
Barely. But it's me. In my head I'm looking like, hey, I'm just gonna have to adjust. So I mean,
Yeah.
the first couple of weeks was challenging. And just even that schedule is literally 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. I was dead, boy. I'm getting out of practice. Every piece of nap I can get, I'm out of there. I'm
Yeah.
slumped. Just adjusting to playing corner, like backpedaling, stopping on a dime. Like I'm an athlete, so I'm gonna adjust. But like I really was having to take practice serious because I'm looking like if I don't, and it was 28 D backs
Oof.
when we got out there.
28?
28 D backs. So I'm looking like yeah, it's gonna be 22 of us looking stupid on the bench. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Right,
I
right,
can't,
right.
I couldn't go, bro. And plus, like I said, like I asked the coach, and then like I seen the dude that was a starter, and I'm like, the other dude that was starter, the other dude that was starter on the team. So I'm like, that's a free spot.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my thing, do camp. Like I'm doing my, I'm doing my ups and downs. Like I'm doing good, and then I'm not doing good. But I had my boy Frenchie with me, Turk, LaValle. That's my Fab Four. Like we all kind of like stuck together and just like worked with each other, and we all started getting some looks. And then I remember when I found out I was gonna be a starter was at the end of camp for the depth chart for this.
Mm-hmm.
It was like we had like a inter squad scrimmage,
Mm-hmm.
and what the left corner said, what was it? Left corner said Danny Erickson, and that right said Sherome Milon. I was lit. I was like, I didn't even say nothing. I was just like, I just looked. I was like, ain't no
It
way.
was like how you remember how drumline was when they looked up their names? It
Yeah,
was like that?
that's exactly
Okay.
how it was. It was posted.
Yeah.
Muggs was pissed. Hey,
Uh,
we got this one dude, shout out to Stockhouse. He from DeLaSalle too. That boy must have thought he was gonna be a starter. No, no, he
hey
was
man,
hot.
hey, be my fresh legs, man.
Hey, yeah, hey, So like when I seen that, and then Keaton was starting too. So with me,
Yeah.
Keaton, we both went up there starting easy.
Freshman
Um,
year.
freshman year. But then I'm gonna tell you what happened. All them scholarships we got, right? First year development. We had to miss a week of practice the week of the game.
For what?
The first year development program for our scholarship. Well, look, we missed a whole week of practice. We come to practice on the walkthrough.
Look,
I'm
playing
looking
games
like
now.
I'm coach. I'm still gonna start. He nah nah.
That's crazy.
We get to the first game, cuz. We get to the first game. Boy, me and Keaton both on the bench. Why our backups have all American games, boy? Why my backup French have a pick, and then his
Look,
backup Kevin Harvey had the best game of his career. But we sitting
look.
on the bench like, boy, we ain't gonna never play. But hey, no lie though, I did get in though, cause he moved me to nickel.
Yeah.
He moved me to nickel, so I did get in and play. But shit, after that, the second week, um, the second game we played against who we played against? Was it Eureka? That boy Danny Erickson was getting busted. Get
Look, look.
in there.
Say no
Ah,
more.
I'm CC lockup, boy. So then that's when I got the starting spot my second week.
Okay.
So I was originally supposed to be a starter. Then my second game, I ended up getting in like after the first quarter started, and then the third game we played against a team called Concordia Chicago. That's when I
Mm.
got turf toe in Chicago. So I was out 2 weeks. My coach was pissed. Coach Parker wanted to beat my ass. He was looking at me crazy, like, why the so we had an interception drill at the end of each practice for the D
Yeah.
back. Like we ain't never do that ever since.
Never.
Cause I messed up my toe. I had turf toe.
Mm.
So I missed 2 games and then I came back and I started the rest of the season. But
Okay.
that whole season was crazy though. Like it was a lot of ups and downs. No, we started off 3-3 and then we ended up winning our last 4 games. And my last game, I got killed by this boy named I think his name was like Carl Lewis. He was getting looked at by like the league. Man, hey, he hit that slant on me. Well, I tried to dive. I'm about to look up. He's gone. Touchdown.
Mm. It
I'm
was like a
like,
red zone.
boy, that was like 60 yards. He got little. Boy, he was like 6'3", 230. And cuz I'm like 160,
Yeah.
5'7", playing corner, starter. So I'm little out there, bro. So it's like I couldn't do nothing with that at the time. And I'm learning the position. But then after that though, like, I was solid after that.
Yeah. So freshman year seemed like it was, a success. Did you run track as well?
So I did run track and man, track in college, I should have ran track all 4 years, but I stopped my sophomore year. But track in college is very lonely for practice. You only practice with a group unless you're doing relays. But if you're not doing the relays, you practice by yourself. And it's boring. And practice is only like 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But you get to travel all over the world. My freshman year, we didn't travel as much. We traveled, but we didn't do nothing like spectacular. But I ended up getting like all conference indoor and outdoor both seasons, so that was dope. But it just wasn't enough for me that year. But it
Okay.
was it was fun though. Like I mean, I ain't gonna say like I didn't have a good time. I had a really great coach, Kirk Nauman. And I do feel bad that I stopped running track, but I just was so gun ho on football, man. Trying to be a football player, I just kind of like gave it up a little bit. But we could talk about my sophomore year too, though. But I
Yeah.
did though. It was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah, that's what we about to get into. Oh yeah, we'll start with football for your sophomore year. What was y'all looking like? How well you played? Did you score at all? What you do?
Hey, so my sophomore year, you couldn't tell us nothing. So mind you, we coming off a 4 game win streak.
Yeah.
So that year we ended up going undefeated. And it was crazy. It was real crazy. So the first game we played against this team called Lawrence University. I think it was an Iowa team.
Lord.
Lawrence got down on them. Then the second game we played against Greenville. So Greenville was our rivals in the UMAC. The UMAC is probably the worst conference in Division 3, but Greenville was decent.
Yeah.
All black team from like a Southern Illinois place. So we ended up playing them, and we ended up winning in the last second. Like they were smacking us. No, we were smacking them, and they came back.
Yeah.
Like somebody like at the end of the game, it's crazy because what happened to me? Pulled a hamstring. Or I had a cramp in my calf, so I'm on the sideline looking stupid. My
Look.
backup
Yeah.
player at the time, and then when somebody ended up getting a sack, I don't know if it was Jordan or Doobie, one of them, but it's this infamous picture where like Doobie's like flicking off the whole that like Doobie and like our quarterback is flicking off the whole team when the game went off because they
Yeah.
was talking crazy, bro. Like they was trying to punk us, and we
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't going. Like we wasn't going. So like once we won that game, we knew like nobody else was gonna be even close to beating us. So like we killed everybody that year. And then that was the year I was playing kick return. That was the first time I was begging my coach to put me on kick return my freshman year. But he was like, nah, you gotta wait. And I'm like, man, I'm an offensive player.
Yeah.
And I remember I asked Coach Charleston, can I play running back? He was like, nah, you gonna play defense. But I kept begging him, like, I'm like, man, I can do this. Like, let me do kick return. So they let me do kick return. And I used to get it to like the 40, 50 every time I pass the ball. But if you see a white dude back there, you see a black dude back there, who you gonna kick it to? Black dude with dreads. Who you gonna kick it to? So I ain't get that many attempts, but when I did, I'm
Right.
gone. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like I said, we go through the whole season. It's like no competition. We probably be averaging like 40, 50 points a game. Our
Mm.
defense. That year we led the NCAA in 12 st- uh, s- like statistical categories. Like it was crazy. Like we was tied with LSU, Sam Houston, and some other team with turnover margin, most margin. Because our quarterback only threw one pick, and we had like 28 turnovers that year. Our defense was crazy.
Yeah,
I think I
damn.
think I think we only gave up like 11 points a game, something crazy like that. Something crazy
Yeah,
like maybe like 17 at the highest, but it was like something like ridiculous. Like it was crazy. Um, and so my last game, my sophomore year, we knew we were gonna go to playoffs and we were gonna play like a ranked team. So I'm like, man, I ain't gonna get no opportunity to run this ball back no more. So we went to play this team called Eureka. And it's a hick town in Illinois.
yeah.
We playing against them. They talking crazy to the quarterback, talking crazy to our receiver, just talking crazy. This obviously is the black dudes on the team. And it's like a little racist town too. They had us changing in the gym. We butt naked while the recruits coming through. Bogus.
Doing y'all bogus.
Yeah, bro, we trying to put our stuff on, girdle. The recruits walking in. We in this open gym. No locker room,
Uh,
nothing. So we gotta kill y'all. We gotta kill
got
y'all.
to. Yeah, they try to expose y'all.
Man, we blew them out. So I told them like the crazy thing about it, the first play of the game. Remember I told you that D back was talking crazy to our receiver Keegan.
Yeah.
First play of the game, bombed that boy, touchdown. It
Mm.
was hot,
Ain't
and I
talking no more.
ain't talking. I'm on the sideline, dude. They talking crazy. You sorry? You trash? I said, don't kick me in the ball. Don't kick me in the ball, man. Don't kick me in the ball. My boy kicked me in the ball. Got on that 26. When I tell you the Red Sea party.
Yeah.
I put my head down, kick it. Somebody try to get me, then it's me and the kicker 1-on-1. I'm going. I
You
try,
can't let him get you.
man. I hit him with it, and I spit. He grabbed my leg. I hopped up out of it. The whole sideline erupted. My boy Drew Home, he over there doing like this on camera, going
Yeah.
crazy. And I took it off 74 yards, touchdown, first kickoff return in school history.
Did you know that at the time?
Oh yeah, I knew. Yeah, because I used to ask questions like that, and then it was dope though, because like I didn't know how to celebrate, because that was the first time I scored a touchdown in a couple
What you
years. You know what I'm
what you
saying?
thought you gonna get in trouble or something?
No, I don't know what I did, bro. I should have turned up though. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
But the cool thing about it is when I got to the sideline, I told you like Coach Carlson was my dog. Like he always had my back. He was Team Sherome, so he came out to me and he gave me a hug and was like, "Congratulations, you just ran the first kickoff return back in school history, and I'm glad you're on
Mm.
my team." Man, I was like, man, I just felt good about myself after that. And I remember like after the game, like all my homies was texting me. I remember my guy Tony had saw the article and he had posted it on Facebook for me. And I talked to him that day, and I talked to a lot of my homies. I'm calling people, telling them. So that
Yeah.
was dope. And then we obviously played against St. Thomas. Shout out to my brother Walt. They was on that team. They scraped us 42-2
What
for
game
one
was
time.
that? That was a playoff game?
Yeah, so we actually played in a snow, like a blizzard. It was crazy. Like they were just better than us, man. Like I said, I always tell people, right? My team was good, but we probably had like 25 good players out of 100. All the other schools, like St. Thomas, St. John's, they probably have like 60 good players out of 100.
Right.
So like their twos and threes are good. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
like, and there's no shade to my teammates. It's just like that's just what it was. Like we probably only had like 20 the first string, maybe a few backups, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that was our downfall. Like we didn't have enough depth or good depth. That's why we was having the struggles in the playoffs. So like when we playing against, and you got to think we playing in the sorriest conference in the world. They're gonna put us against the best team in the world. So we're playing against the number two teams, the number three teams, the number four
Right.
teams every year. And getting scraped.
Yeah.
So that's just what it was. But it was cool.
Okay. So let's talk about your sophomore year with track. Did you do the Drake relays that year at all?
Yeah, so that year our 4x2 team ended up making it qualifying for the Drake relays. So that was kind of dope, man, because like I always heard about it and I seen
Mm-hmm.
it on TV, but being there was a different story, boy. I'm
I
talking
wanted to
about
go one time. I always wanted to go there.
we should go again. I want to go again because I'm telling you, like you see so many different schools you never seen before, like with track. Like that's a school. Like it'd be like some school called like Nazareth Western University. You'd be like, where y'all at? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So, but when we went to Drake, I took a picture with the Arkansas girls 4x18. I seen some people from Florida, Baylor, Texas,
see, yeah, the
Lolo.
reals, the big schools. You know
Big
what I mean?
schools like the
Yeah.
Lolo Jones was supposed to come, but she didn't come. It was a hurdle. It was a high jumper guy. He actually died. I think a few years back, but he was there. He was an Olympic hurler. He ended up breaking his neck a couple years after that, and he was
Mm.
like quadriplegic. So I seen him there, and it was dope, bro. Like the whole environment. D Money pulled up on me. DeAndre,
Oh
he
yeah,
pulled
yeah,
up
yeah.
on me when I was at Drake Relays. We ended up getting scraped though, because one of my teammates was high. During, like he got high before the race and got cooked on his leg, so
Oh yeah, already.
it was no good. But it was overall it was a good experience because like we was there for like 3 days and we was in the
Mm.
hotels, chilling. Like I said, I'm going out every day watching these dudes, like these fast dudes, like super fast. Like, but just being a part of that event, like that was dope.
Yeah. So, with that being your last year running track, what went into that decision to really give up track to focus more on football? Like, what thought process was you in of making that decision?
Man, it was boring. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was boring. And honestly, I what it's something. I tell you the real thing. Keaton, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking with the track again. Keaton said, "Are you gonna make the Olympics?"
Mm.
I'm like, no. And he's like, don't you like want to make all conference for football? And I'm like, yeah, that was it. I was like, well, that's a no brainer. I ain't gonna make the Olympics, and I'm running for
Mm.
nothing. I was getting all conference now. Don't get it twisted. But
Yeah.
that's what he said. No, he said, are you gonna make it to nationals? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, hell no, I ain't finna make that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, one of my like, so like, I mean, hindsight, it was stupid, but he was right, and I wanted to be on all conference for football. So yeah, so that was the ultimate decision. And plus, like I said, it was lonely. I was like the only like black dude for real. Like all the black dudes that was running was either getting kicked out of school or just wasn't staying the whole time. It was just, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So got done with that your sophomore year. So going into junior year, how was your junior year being a full time football and you took a trip that year too as well?
Yeah. So that year, I was in that weight room. So
Getting
I
right.
was, I was getting right, bro. Like, my junior year came, we lost a lot of seniors, a lot of good seniors, but we knew our team was gonna still be good because our class was good and the
Mm.
class behind us was good. So that's when my boy Tyler Harper became the starter, and he's same height as me, but he was a dog. So remember our old quarterback Alex Theory, he was like top three in the D3 Heisman. So losing that was kind of crazy, but Tyler came in and filled his shoes, and we were lacking depth at receiver, but our defense was solid. So that was like our backbone. That was
Yeah.
keeping us in a lot of the games. So we end up. So my freshman year we went 7-3. Sophomore year we went 10-1. We lost in the playoffs. My junior year I think we went 9-2. We got upset by Northwestern. They came to, and that's another thing. Going at Scholastica, we didn't have a home field. We don't have a home field. So we were playing at Duluth East
Look back at them DeLaSalle days.
back in the DeLaSalle days. So like we be pissed off. We gotta
Yeah.
play somebody. We gotta scrape them. And then we played at this place called Public. At the time, it was called Public School Stadium, which is like where a lot of the Duluth schools play. But so yeah, like that's another barrier we had. Like we just had a practice field that we shared with the soccer team, and then we did that. But junior year was 9-2. That was the first year I got interceptions.
Your
So
junior year.
my junior year, so my first interception was against Greenville, and mind you, this is the option team. They run that option,
Yeah.
but they tried me in the goal line. Snagged that joint, first one. I
Was
talking
it a
about,
slant?
it was a go. It was a
Oh
fade.
yeah, he try to make an example out you.
Head, they say head tap. That's what I did to
Yeah.
Buddy. Well, I don't know how I got that. First one. So that was cool. And then like I think the next week or the week after against McMurray, I got another pick. But I've always been a good cover corner, and I always came up and tackled. That was my thing. I'm hitting
Mhm.
regardless. And then like I ain't gonna say I ain't never got like snagged on. I ain't never got. I got scored on probably like 3 times my whole career. But
Yeah.
I wasn't getting jagged on like that. Like mug a catch on me, but it wasn't like no, you know what I'm saying, no bomb like one on one. Now if I'm in
Right.
coverage, like a zone, I might get, but one on one, I was cool. And then even like so my sophomore year, I'm backtracking a little bit. My sophomore year, my coach had left, my D coordinator. And it kind of messed me up. I feel like it stunted my growth because I kept getting different type DB coaches. But shout out to Coach Smith. He was there to help me and put me in position. And then he allowed me my junior year to be a traveling corner. So I guarded the best receiver each team
And you started doing that one your junior
my junior year.
year?
So and that was fun, man. You know, it was a challenge for me. So like obviously like I'm not gonna get that many picks, like cause I'm locking shit up. But it was cool, man. Like that year, it wasn't as fun as my sophomore year because like we were just blowing everybody out. We had a lot of tough games.
Yeah.
We just wasn't as good as we thought we were from the year prior. But we ended up playing like what's this school called? The Black Jackets. And some Wisconsin
Was
team. They smacked
it,
us 55-14. We was beating them 14-0, and then they came back and smacked us. The run game.
was it stout?
No, it was Wisconsin. It was a black and yellow. I don't even know the team. I forgot the
Yeah.
team. It's so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remember when we get off of here. So we ended up playing them, and then after that we went to Canada. So that was dope. But they made it seem like we were gonna play like this semi-pro team that was good at like this nice stadium. Man, we played this trash semi-pro team, man. Blew
Got
them
down
out
on them.
by 70. They tried to give us cigarettes and stuff. We was
Look,
like,
Drake,
man.
look, that's how they do it down. That's how they do it up there, man.
Nah, it was fun though. Like being in Canada, we was in Winnipeg. It was dope. It was a good experience. When we played the game, it was trash. But we played half the game Canadian rules and half the game American rules. So it was fun. I think I only played like at 3 quarters, and then that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, y'all was killing them then.
Yeah, we blew them out. They was some grown men with kids and wives. They was smoking and drinking at halftime. It was wild. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. I was like, wow. My coach was like, y'all better not, because I think up there you could drink at like 18.
Probably earlier than that too.
hmm Yeah, that was
All right.
junior though.
Okay, so yeah, now we're going to senior year. Senior year. I mean, even before senior year started, you had a unfortunate,
Yeah.
situation.
So yeah, I was with you. You begged me to go play with some bombs. Playing with some bombs, 7-on-7 at Pearl Park. I
Yeah,
broke my
Pearl
foot.
Park.
Broke my foot.
You remember the play?
Only one that was worth playing was said.
You remember the
Everybody
play?
else, yeah, it was the first play of the game. I did a fly ball, snagged on dude and broke my foot on Troy.
Man,
I was sick,
yeah.
cuz.
I was sick for you, man. We
So
just
yeah,
got up.
just got out there, first play. But I mean, that kind of messed me up though. Like I cut my dreads that summer. I was depressed and I didn't know it. Um, reason why I cut my dreads, I thought I needed a change, because I just that was the whole reason why I was playing football. Because I mean, playing like that because I had my dreads. Like I would play I thought that was my thing, like the dreads.
Mm-hmm.
That was my identity. You know what I'm saying? Then when I
Right.
lost that identity, be able to play, I had to make a change. So even going to my senior year, man, I saw like I still went to camp on crutches. I used to just cry every night in my room because I couldn't play.
Mm.
And I remember just sitting at practice, just sick, like, man, like, why did I even go? But I mean, it did make me like more visual as a learner, like watching the games. Sophomore, end up starting in my place, which was cool because he was, I taught him everything he knew.
Right.
So
Young
I was,
protege.
yeah, my protege, so I wasn't tripping. But it sucked just watching because I knew that was gonna be a big year for me. So when I broke my foot, I was like depressed, bro. Like not myself. Like I was up in college just wilding, like
Yeah.
smoking, drinking, doing dumb stuff. But once I got the ability to play, I think I was out for like 8 weeks, which is crazy because I broke my foot in June. I didn't get my surgery till a month later because I ain't had no insurance.
Mm,
Which in hindsight, I should have just not got the surgery and just did the 8 weeks, and I would only miss like 2 games. I mean, 1 game. But since I got I probably wouldn't have missed no games. But since I got the surgery a month later, that's why I missed like those 5 games because of recovery time. But I had to go to rehab, man. And rehab was grueling. Like I had to pick up rocks with my toes, man. I had to try to run,
mm-hmm.
like all these stretches. Like I never had an injury like that that put me out like that. That turf toe, I could still work out, but like when I broke my foot. I broke all 5 toes. So
Mm,
yeah, I had to like get my strength back. So, but when I came back after the 5th game, I was trash, and that's when I realized like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with football. Like
you
that
think
was
that was
my
because of the broke foot?
yeah, because I played scared the whole year. I wasn't myself. So it was just, I don't know, man. It was terrible for me. I remember like we had went to Washington, and I didn't know if I was going to go to, travel with the team or not. My coach originally told me no. And then he called me later that night, was like, you know what? You've been a part of this team and a starter for this many years, and I love you, so I want you to come and be a part of the team. So
Mm,
I ended up going. And I cried at the game in the locker room with French and LaValle. I was balling,
yeah,
boy. I was hurt because they all was suited up and they was ready.
yeah,
And I was just like, man. I think Keaton was there too. I was fucked up, cause
yeah,
man, just thinking about that shit make me sad. But yeah, but I ended up playing though, and I did the best I can. Ironically, like my backup he broke his arm.
mm,
So I ended up starting like the last 3 games of the season. So like what we did was he'd go in for 2 series, I go in for 2 series. Like that's what we did. So my foot could stay loose, you know what I'm saying? And on halftime, I used to have to get my foot worked out because I had a plate in my cleat. So I just wasn't the same. I wasn't fast as I was.
but you
I
was just
shouldn't
thinking too much.
I was thinking too much. I shouldn't have, to be honest, I should have just not played. And then somebody, oh, you gonna come back in the 5th year? I'm like, hell no, I'm trying to graduate. So I should have like not played, but I am glad that I played because I met some of my little young dogs, some freshmen that I still talk to this day, Josh, Harry, Shannon, my boys that came from the South. So that was dope. But yeah, man. After that, like I was cool with my career.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I knew I made an impact. I went up there. I was a winner. Even that year, I think we went 9-2. I think we lost like 7 games in 4 years. So I mean, you can't beat that, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like for us to be coming for me to be coming from DeLaSalle, especially like me and Keaton, um, and just winning. Like we always won. So that was
yeah,
dope. Like I knew I made an impact. I had that first ever touchdown in my career.
yeah,
So like I knew I was good. I was satisfied with my career after that. So that was cool.
yeah. Well, that's good that you recognize that because it's a lot of athletes out there that just
I ain't
they
letting it
don't
go.
have that mindset. You know what I mean? They keep chasing it. They keep trying to do things to help them, to continue their football career. So, yeah, having that thought of like, yeah, like I'm good. I did everything I had to do. I'm not looking at trying to do anything else than what I did. You know what I mean? That's big,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I was satisfied, man. Like I said, my last game we played against Bethel. They blew us out, 70-14. I said, what else I'm gonna do after this? I'm cool, straight up. They killed this guy.
Yeah. Okay. So
It
yeah.
was over.
So life after sports. I feel like this kind of talk to us about life after sports because that part of it is it's tough. You know what I mean? Of you're not in that transition, or you're not in that routine of being an athlete. So just take us through what was it like?
Man, so once I graduated, I was the first one in my family, immediate family, on the male side and
Hmm.
female side, to graduate college. That was real cool. A lot of my family members came and saw me graduate and friends, so that was
Yeah,
dope,
I
man.
had to surprise you.
Yeah, you said you want to come and you came, so that was dope. But yeah, man, like that was cool. Like just to get that off my chest, that was real dope. So, like after that, it was all cool, but it's like it's the world where I got to get a job. So, I ended up doing garage sales for my granddad all summer until I found a job. So literally, I would get up. go outside, set up all his stuff, and try to get money, garage sale, and I sell some of my stuff too. So I was doing that literally all summer. I remember Malcolm pulled up on me. But yeah, I did that. So then I ended up landing a job at Capella University.
Yeah.
So like when I graduated, I was like, man, I want to work in education, like because I was able to like have some free time. I wasn't running track. I ain't had football to worry about when I had to live for nothing. So like I used to hang out in like the the activity center and see how like the staff work. And I'm like, man, this would be cool if I worked at a college. I want to stay around something like this. So I got to working at Capella University, and then it was like an internship, 6 months. You're gonna get a job after you're done. They lied. I ain't get no job afterward.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That was you was busting your butt too. You was doing your
Man,
thing.
I was doing my thing there too. And so I ended up calling my boy. I ended up working that he was working Chaz that played with me at St. Scholastica in DeLaSalle. He had a job at Riverbend saying he was an SCA. I'm like, what's that? But it was paying more than the internship I was doing. So I'm like, I went over there and I've been in education since 2015.
And you doing your thing, man. Definitely making a difference for our youth out there.
So I did 3.5 years as a SCA. But I'm like, man, I got a degree. I need to make some more money. So I ended up calling my old principal, Miss Cunningham. And I asked her, did she have any dean positions open? Because they was telling me that deans was making 25 an hour back in
Yeah.
2018. That was money, you know?
Right, for real.
So I hit her up immediately, like, I can't be at Riverbend no more. You got any dean positions? She was like, yup, one just became a teacher. She like, when can you come over? I came over the next day. Interview. She was like, you got the job. I got the job. And then at the time they had a different assistant principal, and she was like, hey, my AP was like, hey, do you want to teach? I'm looking like, I ain't got no teaching license. I got a bachelor's that's not in teaching. And she was like, oh, you don't need one. Don't worry about that. Just come on. So I interviewed. I ended up getting a job as a special ed teacher, and I've been teaching since 2018, which is crazy.
Hey, you earned it and you're doing your thing, man. So keep doing it.
My facts.
So
Facts.
yeah, transitioning to, fatherhood, man. Us being fathers, some days some days is them days, man. But overall, it's a great thing to be doing, man. So let's talk about fatherhood, man.
Yeah, man. So like I said, like obviously, I'm gonna talk to my parents now, but like the development years and like high school years, even some college years, I ain't really have like my parents, but I always have my grandparents. I credit my grandparents for everything. Those are really my parents for real.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
like, but still doing stuff for me to this day. So those are the people who raised me, and you know, I just told myself based on like my experiences with life, like once I had kids, that I was gonna be 10 toes. So I had my first daughter, my first kid, Mari, in 2020 during COVID, which is crazy because she was due in April. I think the world shut down in March.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Sure
so
did.
she was due she was due the next month. So we was at the crib, and it was bad for everybody because I think Tutu probably gained like additional 20 pounds while we was at home.
Mm.
And then like I remember when it was time to go to the hospital, boy. Like I remember giving Tutu a bath, and then she was like, I'm like, I'm finna play the game because I know like I'm gonna be at the hospital for a few days. So
Yeah,
boom, she come lay with me. I'm looking like, all right, so I go lay with her.
yeah,
And then not an hour later, I'll just close my eyes. We gotta go. We ended up going to the hospital at like 1 in the morning. And like Amari's like heart rate is elevated. Too got like she's like sick. So I'm just like tweaking. Like I'm like, man, what's going on? So they end up Amari's heartbeat is like out of pocket. So they try to get like
mm.
Tutu some medicine and heart rate to give her some medicine or whatever. And we got there at like 2 a.m. and Amari came at like 6:31. So I'm gonna tell you the birth story, which is crazy. All that video, classes, all that. I think, mind you, all that stuff was virtual because it's COVID. It
Yeah,
goes all out the window. Boy, Amari came out head first, face down. I didn't think she had a face. It was straight hair.
yeah,
I'm looking like, and they like, you okay? I'm about to pass out. They like, sit down. I sit down. Tutu looking at me like, man, if you don't get your ass up.
No.
So I get myself together, cause and
Yeah,
he come out, boy. I'm looking like, man. They put her on Tutu, cause I ain't hold her for like an hour. I was scared. I was scared, cause I'm looking like, man, that's me. I'm taking the pictures and all that, but
yeah,
I ain't touch her for like an hour. But then when I held her, boy, I started crying, boy.
man,
Cause I'm like, man, it's my baby. This came out just for me.
for real.
And, she married. She's 5 now, so like super smart. She a daddy's girl, and she'd be up right now with me.
Right.
So we had Mari, man. So we was 28, and then I told Tutu like, man, hey, we gonna have another kid. We gonna have to have them back to back. So one day, and I ain't gonna lie, like with Amari, we wasn't trying like that, but like we wasn't trying to have no kid, but like, hey, she came and she was here. But with Armand, we was trying, and then I'm not thinking nothing of it. We chilling in the crib. She go, I'm pregnant. No, Amari brings me the stick.
Yeah.
I'm looking like, why you
What's
got this?
this?
I'm like, why you got this old thing? She's like, that's new. I'm on the phone with my grandma. I'm like, why Tutu pregnant? She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, no. I'm like, nah. Like, but I was like, you know what? Nah, because I wanted kids back to back because I'm like, man, heck nah. Like that, like, and I grew up by myself. That's why like all my friends is like my siblings and like, me and you super close because I didn't grow up with my siblings like that.
Yeah,
Me and my big brother close, but like we didn't grow up together after I moved with my grandma. He was with my mom and then I was with my grandma and my
yeah,
granddad
yeah,
and all my other siblings, so everybody spread out. So it was just like I need my kid to not feel what I felt. Like, I would always feel like I was always like alone, and that's why I always
mm,
had to have somebody over, or
yeah,
I'd be at somebody's house because I was just what I'm saying. My grandparents was old, and I'm like they can't do what I want to do, like for real.
right.
So I had to have another kid. So then I found out on my 30th birthday that my second kid was gonna be a son. It was
Ooh, how
lit.
that feel?
It felt great because I knew I wasn't having no more after that. Got the girl and the boy. It was dope.
Hey,
So let me tell you how he came. So we one the night before Tutu. Oh, the whole house was sick. Mari was throwing up. I had missed a day. Tutu was sick. Missed another day. I gotta go to work the next day. Right.
mm-hmm.
I come home. Tutu still sick. And I'm like, I wake up. I'm like, how you sleep? She was like, I didn't. I was having contractions. So I'm getting my clothes on. I'm ready for work. Where you going? I'm going to work. She was like, didn't I just tell you I was having contractions? I was like, what? She was like, you ain't going nowhere. I'm like,
Oh,
what? I'm
yeah,
like, what that mean? She's like, we going to the doctor. So I'm like, I called the school. They said, hey, my wife and had a baby, man. So then we go to the doctor, and they like, oh, you ain't even dilated yet. You go
yeah.
home.
That's how it be, man. They be,
I told Tutu said I ain't leaving here without this baby. So I'm like, cool. So I went, got some food, came back. She ate, chilling. My lady come back. Let me get you in the room. We ready. So he came at 5:21. By this time, I'm ready.
Yeah,
So the first time I'm about to pass out. The second time let's go, let's go. And Tutu looked at me.
turned up.
She was finna cuss me out in front of people though. She was finna
Why?
cuss me out.
Telling you to calm down?
I was tweaking. I was in real coach like football mode. Yeah, let's go. She was hot. She was like, "You better shut your."
Well, you
You
was
better
coaching Armand already.
Man, I was trying to get, but then he came on. I'm like, yeah, my boy. I got him. Like
Yeah, the ASAP.
ASAP. Podcast, but I held him. ASAP.
Yeah.
Ace. I had to though. I had to. I told you the first time I was scared. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a girl, she was fragile. I'm used to having a baby. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah, my boy 3 now, man, menace to society. Man, I don't know, man, but just not. I love my parents. We good now and all that, but just not having that consistency made me want to be consistent with my kids, and I'm gonna always be consistent with my kids, man. Like I want my daughter to have a man that reflect her father, and I want my son to have a woman that reflects his mother.
Mm.
So that's why we so hands on. You know what I'm saying? And we keep our kids 24. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a blessing to have kids, healthy kids. Their characters, man. But like, it's one thing that you can't trade for anything. It's the best feeling of purest joy. I mean, I'm being a father. That what I would want my father to be. No
Yeah,
discredit to him. My granddad is my father. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. But I'm just talking about like biological. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Um,
So you
so
being
yeah,
who you needed growing up.
yep. And I got that. I got that in other, places like coaches, teachers. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of support growing up. A lot of my friends, fathers. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with to this day. Mothers as well. It really took a village for me. Because people know, like, like my story. But yeah, I'm just grateful to just be a father and just, see what they do in the future, man.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, how your mental scale 1 to 10, man. How you feeling? How you holding up?
Right now, I'm probably about like a 8.5. My
Yeah.
car broke. The caddy window fell down.
Yeah.
Childcare costs too much.
Yeah.
But it's all good though. It's just, you gotta get yourself in a space where you gotta block out some of that stuff because you gotta control what you can control. You know what I'm saying? And the stuff I can't control, I could be cool with, but the stuff I can't control with, I could just brush it to the side. But I'm good though, man. Like, I got a roof on my head. Like, I'm good. My kids is healthy. My family's
Yeah.
straight. Like, I'm good. The only thing, like, for me, like, I just like to try to like figure out how I can progress in life
Yeah.
yearly. That's always like a constant battle with me, myself. It's like I feel like I always gotta do something. I have to be doing something where I can just need to be chilling out right now. I try to give myself goals every year and achieve them. So that just be my main thing. Like that, I think that'd be like my mental, like it is taking care of myself, like as far as like eating healthy, working out, and just having time for myself. Like, rather than I'm kicking it with like my boys or this, that, and the third.
Okay. 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 So who was your biggest influences or any mentors growing up?
Whew, it's too many to name. My grandparents number one, um, biggest influence. Um, but besides family, you got, Darcy Cascades, my athletic director. That's like my family.
Yeah.
Coach DC, that's like my uncle. Man, who else? There's so many people to name, man. Like all my coaches, anybody that coached me, my guy Tommy Hill, like that's my dog. Like that was one of my track coaches. My big brother Mike for sure, like number one
For the
for real.
show. For the show.
Uh,
Yeah.
he he the one that really got me into sports for real. If I'm really gonna be honest, like I got
Yeah.
myself into it, but he pushed me and just like he was very instrumental to my life, like my whole life, still to this day. That's my
Hmm.
brother for sure. That's crazy. I ain't even bringing no stories about him, but we had to save that for another one.
Yeah.
But no, definitely my big brother Mike for sure. It's too many people to name. Like I said, it was a village. So like whoever like either coached me or even some of my teachers, like like a lot of people made a big impact in my life, and that's why I do what I do now because I know it took a lot for me to do what to get to where I'm at,
Yeah.
and I know like I need to be that for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I like teach and coach and try to mentor young kids and stuff like that. So yeah. Man,
Hey.
shout out to everybody I didn't mention. It's too many of y'all.
Yeah. But there you have it. Sherome Deuce Milon.
That's the story, man. And in a little bit.
Yes, sir. So stop it. All right. So who was your top five players? So with you, it's different because you did multiple sports. So
I ain't
let's
putting no
do
black person in it.
yeah. Oh yeah, of course not track, but I'm saying with basketball.
Okay.
So we're gonna do football. We're gonna do basketball. Top five.
Basketball. That like I was
That's
on an
tough.
actual team with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's start there.
All right. Let's do top five I played with or against. All right. I'll do top five basketball I played with. Jordan Hughes,
For
Lewis
sure.
Cox,
Yeah.
Marcus Alapate. Shoot, shit. Walter for real. I ain't gonna hold you. Walter was a
Yeah,
dog. People don't really know. Like that's I think basketball was Walter's best sport, but he went to DeLaSalle, so that's four. And then one more, Freddie Young. Freddie Young.
oh, God, that's exactly what I was thinking about too. I was thinking about Freddie.
Freddie was a dog, boy.
Yeah, Freddie. Yeah,
And then the people I play with football, so I'm gonna be biased because I think all my homies and stuff was the best people I ever played with. So I'll do high school.
yep,
I'm gonna do overall. Evan, Juice. It's hard. It's hard. Let me see. Evan,
yeah.
Juice.
You had just high school alone. They was you had them dogs.
Bro, I can't. The upperclassmen gonna kill the list.
Yeah,
Charles McCree. I don't know about Charles. Charles is a dog. Man, Muhammad Kroma. Even though he was only 1 year, but he went. He was a dog.
yeah. He played defense, right?
Yeah. See it. Then there's AJ, Mike, Jeremy. That's too hard. That's too hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Devin was a D1 beast. Spencer Harris, oh my God. Yeah, it was too many people that everybody I played with was good.
Yeah, you was just blessed.
Yeah, I was blessed to be with everybody. Pearl was a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just too many people.
What about people you played against?
Shit, Jeff Du Bois, killer. Let me see. I'm gonna do high school. Jeff Du Bois, he was a killer. His teammate, Tyler Kester, was a dog.
Where you play?
St. Croix Luther.
What position?
A running back.
No. So they was
Um,
tag teaming y'all.
tag team. I'm gonna put can't put D Money in it because he didn't play. He got hurt,
Yeah.
so
So BAP.
I ain't really see cause
Yeah.
what's dude Tyler Lang from Glencoe Silver Lake. He was a dog. Then Tyler Hansen from Minnehaha was good. Yeah, nobody else though. I don't think that conference no. But then in
Okay.
college, the best people I played with: Alec French, Alex Theory, Keegan O'Neal, Josh Simmons. It's hard. This is college that I played with. I'm talking
Yeah.
about my top five. Shit, that shit hard, cause I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit
Yeah, I
hard.
know.
But I ain't gonna lie though. I'll go back to the one of the top players I played with. I'm gonna put Varma on that. That's another person. I played with him my intern my junior year. We played at the camp, intern his senior year. U of M camp. Me and him was the same size. And I never seen nobody do what he did. He was like 5'7", 140 pounds, killing everybody at the camp. He ended up getting the MVP at the camp. They wrote a whole letter about him. All
Yeah.
that. Yeah. It was crazy. Varma Sony. That's one of the coldest dudes I ever played with. And that was just for a one-day thing. And we locked in. That's my dog ever since then.
Yeah.